record button, and let's push the share button. Okay, let's move everything. Let's move you guys. Okay. All right, welcome everyone to our Thursday weekly team call. Today is April 21st, so we still have plenty of time to hit Success Club. And yeah, it's almost May, which is crazy. It's almost summertime, so it's a really great time to be pushing summer challenge groups because a lot of people are going to start getting focused as the weather gets nicer. People are going to start becoming more and more interested in your challenge groups. So definitely, keep that in mind as you promote. You can always promote it as like, get in shape for the summer, et cetera, et cetera. Some announcements that we will make before we get started. Oh, and today's team call is all about Shakeology objections. I know I had 3 or 4 coaches in 2 days ask me about how to handle Shakeology objections. So I took that as a note that perhaps this is something we should talk about, especially with all the new coaches on. There's a lot of Shakeology objections. And in the beginning of my business, I spent a lot of time focusing on how I can what the value of Shakeology is. And, since then, I put so much value on Shakeology that Shakeology objections rarely come up for me anymore. I mean, they do, but I just feel like I handle them like a boss. And it's because I watch so many videos. I read so many, different scripts about how to handle objections that I just don't see it as a problem at all. And I think I think it's a good idea to share all this information with you guys. And then Amy went on her leadership retreat last week, and so she'll share her tips that she learned and share it with you guys. So announcements, hitting Success Club 5 this month, which just as a quick reminder, Success Club 5 plus being on Shakeology Home Direct. You have to have that 90 PV in order to hit Success Club. And then hitting Success Club, oh, that's the weird lines again. I don't know what's going on. You get a free Shakeology apron this month, which is super exciting. The Ultimate Reset Challenge Pack is on sale for $275 instead of $305. And then there's a permanent price reduction on all the base packages, which includes basically they took all the packages. So there's like a dual package in case you and your spouse want to do, or you and a friend that live close together want to do it together. And then there's a refill kit, which is something that I would buy because I did the Ultimate Reset last November. And there's a permanent price reduction, plus you get an additional 25% off as a coach. So it's definitely such an amazing thing, especially at this time of the year to do. It's a really hard program, big mental challenge. You can't work out. It's all nutrition, but it's totally worth it. And I know a lot of you guys are really interested in doing it and are actually going to be doing it. So that's awesome. Top 1,000 coaches for Success Club points will earn a core fast pass for Summit. So those of you who go to Summit, you will see that the line for the core is huge. So if you're a top 1,000 coach in Success Club points this month, you get a fast pass, you get to skip the line, and that's really awesome. And then we have a Summit house. I don't know how many people max can fit in this house, but I know we have a Summit house. Some of us started to pay Emily back. Emily booked it. Thank you so much for booking it for us. And so if you want to stay with us and you need to know some of the payment details or whatever, or how to claim your spot, definitely contact Emily Eastwood.
I have a quick thing. I have it on really good authority that everyone that got on the wait list before December is getting off. Within the next week or 2. So if you're on the wait list, you want to come to Summit, watch your email and make sure that you catch that email and go with us. So, and then they said possibly even the next batch of people that got on after December may be getting in as well. So just keep a really close eye on your email. Don't ignore it because you don't want to miss that chance if you can get in. So.
Exactly. And you guys, Summit is such a huge, huge game changer for your business. Like the amount of energy you're going to gain from everyone there and the amount of things that you're going to learn. Like I still remember so much from last Summit that's still driving me this day for today. I still have that energy from Summit. Then there's also a Move Up the Line promo for Success Club trip in 2018. You can read all about it on FAQ 5060, but I kind of looked into it, but I just wanted to share with you guys where you can find more information. It seems really, really awesome. Basically, earning Success Club 10 in the month of April and or May gets you the points to where you can move up the line and register earlier for Success Club 2018 so that you have more of a chance of it not selling out on you and not getting on the wait list and having to stress over that, which is awesome. So first and foremost, let's get into the Shakeology stuff. every single one of you who's above a discount coach must be on Shakeology Home Direct. There is absolutely no excuse why you shouldn't be. It's like the most minimal investment in your business. And like Amy said 2 weeks ago on our team call, the first $100 that you make in your business, you know, in that month should be reinvested into next month's Shakeology orders. Don't even think about spending on anything else. Just keep it in your account so that Shakeology Home Direct can be taken out the following month, and your business service fee and whatever and whatnot. This is because we're like, Amy and I kept forgetting to remind you guys about Shakeology Home Direct. And then we noticed that, you know, some coaches will hit Success Club 5, get super excited, and then not actually qualify for the leads or anything like that because they didn't have the 90 PV of Shakeology. And so by being on Shakeology Home Direct every month, you satisfy everything you need for Success Club, for actual Success Club, like actually qualifying for Success Club, all the leads, anything trip related to the Success Club trip, and all other bonuses in this business, like the team cycle bonus and whatnot, needs that 90 PV on Home Direct. And it's because Shakeology is honestly the magic behind the residual income that so many of us benefit from in Beachbody. Because without regular Shakeology orders and sales coming from coaches and coming from customers and coaches inspiring people to purchase Shakeology, there's no residual income because Shakeology is the only thing, think about it, it's like one of the only things that people will have to buy monthly because it runs out, right? So if we're only promoting programs, the programs don't run out. We have it forever. And so Shakeology is what keeps this residual income going because people reorder every single month. And remember that if you personally do not see the value in Shakeology, that no one that you talk to will either. Like, it all starts with your conviction. And so what I want to talk about on our team call tonight is more information about Shakeology, why it's so amazing, and basically the responses to the most common objections. So first, I just want to share a video, and I have to take my headphones off. It's like 3 minutes long, but I really like this video, and it's something you can find on the Team Beachbody YouTube channel. You can also send it to your customers, and you can also rewatch it every time you forget what Shakeology is and why it's so amazing.
You know, when I first sat down with Carl and Lizabelle and we talked about what is this Shakeology and what was it going to be, you know, one of the first things was it was going to provide an answer to what do people require right here, right now, in this day and age. And because of stress and food quality being down and challenges of just eating healthy as you're a busy person throughout the day, you're missing out. So Shakeology was there to provide an answer to that question. What do we require? We require nutrient-dense food to help combat stress, to help recover from workouts, recover from life, and give a chance so your body can thrive rather than just survive. Shakeology is not just a bunch of things thrown together. It's an alchemy. It's greater than the sum of its parts. So you have things like ashwagandha and astragalus and maca, all of these things, which are, by the way, adaptogens, really helping the body combat stress. And then you have other things like moringa and tulsi and some of the superfoods in there that are giving the nutrient qualities that you need. So it's almost like creating a symphony where it's not just the drums, it's also the brass. And the blending of Shakeology creates the strength as a whole rather than looking at all the parts. All of the parts are bringing in powerful nutrients, antioxidants, vitamins, minerals, and many other attributes and cofactors to provide the greatest superfood blend on the planet. What's the reason why there's not other formulas out there? Well, you could maybe pick some of those ingredients and call a manufacturer and throw those ingredients together, but you really don't know where they're coming from. You don't really know the quality other than a piece of paper may show that it is. The difference of Shakeology and here at Beachbody is we have hordes of teams that are going to every country that's testing every ingredient, that's testing the compounds that exist in the ingredient to make sure that every ingredient doesn't have residues and toxins and pesticides, but also has the compounds, the active constituents that are in that ingredient so that we actually have the ingredient, the superfood, the medicinal plant, the herb that was intended to be the way it was supposed to be. That's why there's very little, if any, product on the market that can speak to that high quality and that quality assurance. And that is something really, really incredible and something I'm very proud of. You know why I drink Shakeology every day? Is because it is literally providing some of the greatest superfoods in the world. And as I travel around the world, there's oftentimes I don't get food, or I can't find the food that I would really want to ingest. And so just selfishly having a packet of Shakeology and be able to blend up, at least I know for sure that I'm getting some quality food and some quality superfoods at any point. So I always have an emergency bag with me wherever I go.
I love Darren. First of all, do you see his passion when he talks about Shakeology? Like, he has no problem selling this stuff. And, you know, like, the more passionate that you are about Shakeology, the more it shows through your posts, the more it shows through your conversations. And, you know, of course, the more you learn about it, the more you're like, oh my God, this is amazing stuff. So something that I read as a brand new coach and never forgot to this day, like I really like got this ingrained into my mind, like how crazy cool this is. 2 years ago, and like to this day, when I talk to customers, I have so much conviction behind how freaking cheap it actually is. So this is actually, I believe, copied from the Beachbody website, or somewhere I found it today, somewhere Beachbody related. But basically it says, at just over $4 per serving, Shakeology is incredible value. Each serving packs up to 17 grams of protein per serving, along with whole food nutrition from some of the most nutrient-dense superfoods on the planet. This combination of amino acids, vitamins, minerals, antioxidants, enzymes, phytonutrients, and rare adaptogens is unparalleled. Beachbody is exceptionally proud of the benefits Shakeology delivers. Beachbody makes great efforts to ensure the high quality and purity of ingredients. When all this is factored in, the value is truly impressive. Each serving of Shakeology contains the same nutritional value as 3 cups of romaine lettuce, 4 cups of raw mushrooms, 1 shot of wheatgrass, 1 bowl of exotic fruit, 3 onions, 7 raw carrots, 4 cups of non-fat yogurt, 4 cups of red radishes, 4 cups of raw broccoli, 1 cup of peas, and 10 cups of cauliflower. And imagining eating all that for breakfast just sounds absolutely disgusting to me. So I'm really glad that I can have all those crazy benefits of all of that in just one nutritional shake. And buying all these ingredients individually would cost approximately $41 per serving instead of just $4 for one serving, which is insane, adds up to and there's a really funny, cool Tony Horton commercial for Shakeology where he scans all the ingredients for Shakeology and it adds up to over $750 or something like that for a month's supply. So would you rather pay $750 or $130, you know? Now, if you're, one tip that I have for you guys is to really just get as educated as you possibly can without ever word vomiting on your prospects with all the ingredients. You don't have to mention all the ingredients. You don't have to mention exactly all the things that's in it because it's only going to bore your customers. It's only going to confuse them. It's only going to overwhelm them. The reason why you should get educated mainly is to increase your passion for this stuff. So the more you learn about it and the more you just really see why it's so helpful and really see why why your skin is clearing all of a sudden, why you're finally losing weight all of a sudden, why you're gaining muscle easier all of a sudden. When you see how everything connects, your passion grows and you have a much easier time to talk about it. So there's a Shakeology podcast for your own education, which is great because you don't have to sit there and do research or look through your online office. You can just turn on the podcast. So I believe there's 8 episodes now and it's on the 3rd Wednesday of every month. And you can get it on both Android and iTunes, anywhere where you currently go for your podcasts. This is just a screenshot of iTunes, and it's called Inside Shakeology. And basically, it's why Shakeology, blah, 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 just all different. And it's all entertaining. And I believe it's 15 minutes long or something like that. Super easy to do, but it'll only grow your conviction in it. Now, let's get to the good stuff. So the objections and how to respond. So probably if you were a coach for even one day, the first thing you've probably heard is Shakeology is so expensive. We all hear it. I still hear it. But, and of course, the objection responses that I give you guys, you don't have to type out anything that long ever. It can be split up into, you know, a couple sentences, not to overwhelm and not to word vomit on your customer. But basically, like, a generic response to that would be, it's actually not as expensive as you think. For example, I used to go out to eat every day for lunch, spending anywhere from $8 to $10 at places like Panera and Applebee's, not knowing if I was taking in something healthy or not. I mean, we all have eaten out for lunch before. When I started replacing those lunches with Shakeology, costing me just about $4 per meal, I was saving money and not even sure I was taking in something that was going to help me stay healthy and in shape. I remember at UW, my university, I would spend like $12 to $15 every single day for lunch until I became a Beachbody coach and just brought my Shakeology. So that for sure I have a lot of conviction in, and I will, you know, mention, of course, my personal experiences. And then I always say, like, remember, you're replacing an entire meal with Shakeology and therefore don't have to purchase the groceries for those meals. Plus, if you would actually purchase all the foods necessary to get the same amount of nutrients and vitamins that are in Shakeology, you would be spending quite a bit more than the cost of Shakeology. It makes sense, especially when it would cost you over $750 a month to get all the nutrients within Shakeology, and so many of these nutrients are key to our optimal health. The $130 just seems like a no-brainer at this point. And so, you know, it's key to mention that, you know, people look at it as spending in addition to their grocery bill. But I remember when I was spending $12 to $15 every single day for lunch at UW, and then all of a sudden was just spending $4. Not only did that replace that also saved me money. And so when you really think about these things, you just, you know, your conviction in Shakeology just grows more and more and more. And so, you know, you can ask your customers what they spent for lunch the other day, or, you know, what they eat for breakfast and how much that normally costs them. You know, of course, you know, they might have like a breakfast sandwich or something from Starbucks or whatever they eat. And you can just kind of show them like, hey, you're already spending that. And it's, you know, if you're wondering why you're not fit yet, that might be why. Or if you're struggling with weight loss, or, hey, this is actually a cheaper version of your breakfast or whatever, you know, obviously tailor your response to the customer and what they need.
One quick thing too is that I always say, and one of the reasons like I got on Shakeology is because I have IBS, which is irritable bowel syndrome, and like the probiotics that I was supposed to take every day to just maintain, like the probiotics and the fiber to like maintain normal health, are in Shakeology. So I always include that for everybody. I'm like, it has a probiotic and a prebiotic and fiber and vegan protein source if you're using the vegan one. And I mean, that in itself, who actually remembers to take their multivitamin? Like, so many people intend to take a probiotic and a multivitamin and don't. And so you can really capitalize on that as well. Like, you don't have to buy a ton of pills and have them all sitting in your cabinet for you not to take. You can actually just drink it every day without even having to think about it. So
exactly. Like, we all have our own experiences. We all have our own health issues. We all have, everyone, you know, Shakeology benefits us all differently. And so use your independent like benefits, use your own individual benefits, and just, you know, tailor response to that, because the more you just speak from experience, the more it shows that you really trust this product. And then another one of my favorites that I hear a lot is, I can find cheaper meal replacement shakes. And I think Amy had the most boss response in her team page like the other month. I loved it. But basically, like, and I've basically what I wrote here is also what I've used not too long ago, because someone was comparing it to a GNC like lean shake or whatever. And so I always ask, like, hey, what are you comparing it to? I only asked because I felt the same way when I first heard the price, when I was comparing it to that of like a GNC protein shake or a simple protein shake at any supplement store. Shakeology is actually a superfood packed meal. It's no different than heading to your nearest Whole Food store and loading up on the finest ingredients for your salad, or grabbing fresh juice at a juice bar, except it's much more convenient, much less expensive per serving. Have you seen how much a salad or juice at Whole Foods costs? No lie, I bought a juice at Whole Foods last week and it cost me $10. And so, yeah, right. Like, last time I paid $9 to $10. When I think of my Shako, I think my favorite meal and my daily vitamins. I've honestly not found a super healthy meal that even comes close to $4. Definitely not at any of the fancy pants Whole Food stores. Remember, it's not an addition to your grocery bill, it's a replacement. what are you paying for lunch currently? And I actually got the majority of these objections when I'm stumped on an objection or I want to help someone. I usually go to Shay Stanford. She has a lot of these on her website, and I actually tailored some of these from her website. And she's actually like the Shakeology queen. She has so much conviction in Shakeology. You guys should go to all her national wake-up calls where she talks about Shakeology. It's freaking amazing. And then I also mentioned that the main reason why of course, there's so many other meal replacement shakes, and of course a lot of them are cheaper than Shakeology, but it's because they use cheap fillers and like half the amount of nutrients, half the amount of ingredients, but those fillers basically make up for the volume. So if you only use half the amount of ingredients, of course you're going to come up with half a bag of something. And so they use all kinds of fillers, which is basically empty ingredients, and most of the time carcinogenic ingredients. Like the GNC lean shake has a lot of carcinogens that I found. Like I remember I showed one of my prospects, like, this ingredient and this ingredient is considered to be a carcinogen. Did you know that? And she's like, oh my God, no, I didn't know that. Give me the link for Shakeology now. And so that kind of convinced her. But anyway, like it's either a carcinogen or just empty ingredients to fill up the volume of the shake, making it, seem like it's the same thing. And that's why it's cheaper. They're able to sell it for less because it's a bunch of empty crap.
And it's like another really easy way to get people on this and be like, okay, like you get what you pay for. The dress you buy at Forever 21 versus the one you buy at Nordstrom. One of those is going to last you a longer amount of time. So you have to think what you're putting into your body, because it's your biggest investment is your body and what you're doing to it. So
yeah, that was part of your boss response. I remember that now. I was trying to remember when I was typing this up. Okay, and then all other objections, which you can Google Shakeology objections and how to handle them, and you'll come over to Shay Stanford's website. But basically any other objection, I would just say, what do you have to lose with the Shakeology bottom of the bag guarantee? So if a customer, and just in case you guys didn't know this, if you have a customer who even finishes the bag of Shakeology and didn't like it, within 30 days, they can still return an empty bag and Beachbody will refund their money. They have that much conviction, that much faith in the product that they're willing to do that. And so if they have that much conviction, why don't you? And so you can always mention that. And, I don't know any company that has this kind of return policy. And also all challenge packs come with the same guarantee. And then as for Shakeology Home Direct, like if you have a customer who just wants Shakeology and they don't want a program, they just want Shakeology, and you know how Success Club points are tied with Home Direct, the easiest way that you can guarantee an HD order is, and also saving your prospect a lot of money too, is to remind your prospect that they can to go ahead and order the Shakeology and Home Direct, because they will get the $2 shipping instead of the $14 shipping just by choosing that Home Direct option. And then they can cancel HD literally once the order processes. They can be like, hey, I want to cancel HD so I don't get, if your customer is nervous about the auto ship before they even tried it. But I always tell customers to wait a week, try it, use the product for a week, and most of the time they either sign up as a coach or they stay on Shakeology from Home Direct for many, many months. And I have customers that have been on it since I became a coach. Like they're still ordering Shakeology and Home Direct to this day. And that'll also give you the Success Club point. And then I think this is the last, oh no, there's two more. Okay. So why is focusing on Shakeology basically the keystone to your business? What exactly about Shakeology is it, in terms of like talking it up? Like why, what's the point of this whole team call? Basically, in my opinion and in my experience, it's way easier to talk up Shakeology. It's way easier to talk a lot about Shakeology, through your posts, and not to overwhelm. We always, like, thinking back to our previous team calls, like we always talk about how to pick your 5 topics every single day, or your 5 posts, or your 5 passions, and basically never spam your timeline on Facebook, your newsfeed or whatever, and just keep it balanced. But at least once or twice a week, talk about Shakeology, because the more you talk, it's way easier to talk up Shakeology. I mean, yeah. So like, for instance, you talk a lot about Shakeology and people come to you and they're like, what is the Shakeology? Sounds like something I need. you can always upsell a challenge pack so much easier. So basically you mentioned like, oh, you know, if you're interested in Shakeology, have you ever considered trying the 21-day fix? It's actually on sale for just $10 more. So you're thinking about ordering Shakeology anyway for just $10 more. Why not get a challenge pack? And that is so much easier. And they think like, holy crap, that's an amazing deal. It's so much easier than being scared of talking about Shakeology, never talking about Shakeology, using it, but never talking about it. And then only talking about the programs. And then we start talking to a prospect and, you know, it's hard to try to explain to them why the program's only $60. The challenge pack is, you know, 140 to 160 on average. Those are the most popular ones. They're never going to understand the value of the challenge pack because they have no idea what Shakeology is. And that most likely they won't be convinced in just one message. You know, there's a thing in marketing. There's an actual statistic in marketing that it takes 7 to 8 exposures for someone to say yes to something. So someone will have to see your post 7 to 8 times before they fully become interested in what you have to offer. And this is also part of being consistent. So it might take a couple of weeks for someone to see you drinking your Shakeology for them to finally be like, oh, okay, I see. So if it's the first time you ever mention it through a message like, oh, you know, so 21-day fix comes with the portion control containers and the meal plan and this 30-day Shakeology thing. And they're going to be like, wait, what's Shakeology? I don't get it. And then you try to explain to them and it just becomes harder. And so for me, what I found that was much easier was to always put priority on Shakeology in my business. And Success Cup becomes easier this way too. And then last but not least, and I'm not saying that anyone on here does this, and I'm not saying that you guys do this or whatever, but just something to keep in mind. So there's no need to ever bring up competitors. And I know as you grow your business, you're going to come across It Works. You're going to come across Plexus. You're going to come across Isogenics. You're going to come across distributors and customers that are loyal to all these other companies. And you might be tempted to argue with them about why their products suck and ours are better and whatever. And so there's also like a chart that a lot of coaches like to use. I personally don't like to use that comparison chart. If you don't know what I'm talking about, don't worry about it. But if you know what I'm talking about, it's just like, it shows like, oh, Shakeology is better than all these products because this checkmark, this checkmark, this checkmark. I used to share that a lot with my customers or anyone, but I stopped. And it's because my belief in Shakeology is so strong that I see it as a waste of time to ever convince anyone or sway them from another product. And it also shows the prospect that you have so much faith in your own company, Beachbody, you find it a waste of energy to badmouth competition. And just in general, bad-mouthing competition. So saying like It Works products suck or Isogenics sucks or Plexus sucks, even if their products truly suck, it just makes you look bad and not really the other company. And so I basically just let my results, my health, my passion do the talking for me. And I just, trust my own process and trust that, what I'm doing is what works for me. And I believe that it is the healthiest shake out there on the market. And I believe it can change so many people's lives, but there's never any need to argue with anyone about this. Like you can never convince anyone otherwise, but they will see your passion just by you talking about it and just by, learning more about it and just being so, having such a conviction in the fact that Shakeology is this amazing shake, which it is. And I think that's all I got for you guys. So it's Amy's part now.
Awesome. Okay, mine is so schizophrenic because this weekend was like so much information that some of it went over my head, and I'm not even going to go into most of it because it's, it's just, there's a lot of information, but there are several things that I need to implement first. Asking questions. So I love when you guys come to me with questions. I really do. And I love when you ask questions in the team page. But I don't even know if I have told all of you guys to check the FAQ first. The FAQ, if you don't know where it is, you go to your Team Beachbody. I mean, this is so basic, but it's something that I was like, man, I never even tell people that. I need to say it, So if you go to Team Beachbody and you search FAQ, it'll come up. And I mean, there's a million questions answered there already. So much easier than like trying to hunt me down or waiting for someone to say something in the team page, because I don't always have my phone on me. And when I don't have I might have my phone on me and not be checking messages at that point. So just for everybody, and honestly, the people that make it to the team calls and care enough are not the people bugging me with questions like this, but I just have to say it. So you tell your coaches this too. When you guys sign up new coaches, tell them, check the FAQ first, because there's so much already answered there, probably more eloquently than I could answer it. If you don't find it there, go to Google, and then next go to the team page, but mention what you found on the other sources. Say, I'm still confused about this. I found this answer, and I found a little bit more information here, but does anyone know better information about, if it really is GMO certified or whatever? So yeah, that's kind of the basic. And honestly, that's just because I want you guys to be as self-sufficient as possible, and I want you guys to create self-sufficient coaches, because I don't want you guys to get to a point where you're like, man, I am so overwhelmed answering the same questions over and over again. I want you guys to be able to tell your coaches right off the bat where they can find information and release some of the burden off of you for that. Because if you don't know an answer and then you're coming to your upline who's coming to me, that's just a lot of, we can skip the middleman and find the answer somewhere else. Okay, and then I'm starting kind of a new onboarding process, because I realized kind of a lot of the things that, well, first of all, I got to pick Tara Carr's brain, and she is a superstar diamond. Her husband is a Green Beret and was deployed pretty much the entire time she was building her business. She has 3 kids, and they were in Japan, and then he would deploy from Japan. So talk about isolated. But she kind of told me her entire onboarding process. So when getting new coaches started. So I'm going to make a lot of changes. And for leaders, I will, as I get this stuff put together, I will make it available to you. But basically, I want to get to know all of you guys as coaches better. And Catherine is the same. We've talked about this. So, if I asked you to fill out the love languages test and all this stuff, it's because I'm trying to create a system that we can duplicate so we can all get to know each other better and all work together better. After those intake forms that I'm creating and will share with you, you don't have to worry about creating them. They'll have a getting to know you call, and that'll set expectations, and then they'll go into the new coach training that we do every Monday. So yeah, you can go to the next slide. Okay, this is my main big takeaway from this trip. It's kind of that the business starts at diamond. And what I mean by that is not that you don't have a business when you're not a diamond. What I mean is that our goal, my goal for those of you who want it, is to help you really create a sustainable business from home so that you don't have to go to work if you don't want to, or you have an extra income if you do want to keep your job. You have enough extra income to have some play money. I really want that for you guys. And honestly, if you're struggling staying emerald and that kind of stuff, you can only make so much on retail sales. So this is what I really got, is that, our job now is to help you guys become leaders. Emerald is a great accomplishment. And I was talking to one of the really great coaches there, and she goes, what I tell all my coaches is that you need to be hitting emerald every other week. So every 2 weeks, you need to be signing 2 coaches. You need to be making yourself emerald over and over again. And once you get that in a routine and you get that in your mindset, no, you don't need to sign 10 coaches this week. I'm not expecting that from you. I don't do that. But if you're consistently adding 2 people to your coaching network every week, you're going to create an income for yourself, and you're going to create a real business. And it's going to be stable because you're going to be consistently adding. It's not going to be a flurry of activity and then nothing. So I really love that. And I just remember, sticks out of my head as one of those things that I was yeah. And then once you hit emerald every 2 weeks, all you have to do is get 2 of those people to hit emerald. So it's really it's made of emerald. So if you've hit emerald once, you can be diamond. It's really that simple. We try to overcomplicate it and make diamond this big scary goal. And diamond's just doing that same stuff consistently and not giving up. Because, I know I did this. When I hit emerald my first time, I was really pumped, right? And then I looked at my next goal and I was like, that's so far away. And I was immediately a bit discouraged because I was like, oh crap, now I have to make 2 people emerald? I'm not ready for that. That's scary. It's too much. I'm not ready for it. And that's why Catherine and I are here, because if you don't feel like you're ready to mentor people past a certain point yet, we are. We can help you get there. And so, don't let your fear of not being a leader yet, or of not knowing what you're doing, or I don't know if I can handle this, don't let that keep you from growing your business. That's why we're here. We do know how, we have those tools. We have those systems in place. All you need to do is plug your people in. So don't let that fear hold you back from where you should be. And obviously, Catherine and I both, we all want this for you. We want you to succeed. We want you to get to where you want to be in your business. It's okay if you don't have dreams of being a diamond coach. That's okay. That's totally fine. But But if you do want to be a diamond coach, I don't think any training is necessary. If you know how to hit emerald, you know how to hit diamond. So yeah, I think I said everything. I wasn't even reading the slide. I just kind of went. Okay, and the last thing, this was also just a recurring theme that kept coming up, and people were all jealous of other people's systems. Like, I'm looking at Brooke Lipoff and I'm saying like, man, I wish I had your systems. Like, you have these crazy systems in place and all these ideas. And then I'm looking at Stephanie and I'm saying, man, I wish I knew how to run ads like you. And then I'm looking at Alita and I'm like, man, I wish I knew how to. And at the end of the day, we were all doing that. They were all doing that to me too. They were all doing that to each other. And we all sat down. We were like, this is so silly, because what I'm good at makes me good, right? But what you're good at makes you good. So stop playing the comparison game. Find out what you're really strong at, because that is what's going to make you successful. If you don't know what you're strong at, that should be what you're doing personal development on right now, to find out what your strengths are, because everyone has strengths and they're unique. And it makes it hard because we play the comparison game with each other. We say, man, she got 20 Success Club points in the past week. Like, what am I failing at? And instead of thinking about it like that, say, okay, what am I doing really well? I need to do it even better. My favorite comparison thing is like, if you're 5'9" and you're a guy, you're probably not going to be playing professional basketball. So, if you keep playing basketball and you keep playing basketball, you're only going to get to a level 4 out of 10. You might have started at a 2, but you're going to be cut off at some point. But something you're really, truly good at, you might start off at a 4, but you can get it to a 10 if you really, truly love it and are good at it. So you have to look for those things that you're going to be able to be great at. And that's what's going to set you apart in this business and in life. And it's what's going to make you happy. I think that's it.
I love that. I'm going to stop the share. Thank you so much for that. Oh, now I see your lovely faces. All right.
Yeah, I took that whole thing out of Strength Finder 2.0. If you haven't read it yet, it's amazing. It also has a test and it will tell you what your strengths are. So it takes all the guesswork out.
Love that book.
Really good book.
Mm-hmm. And I just ordered the Energy Bus today on Amazon. I know some of you just started it, and it was on a team call a couple weeks ago on the Team Healthier You call. But apparently everyone's loving that book. So if you need a personal development recommendation, you're looking for a book, I guess, Energy Bus. After you said that, I grabbed my Strengths Finder. Yeah.
It's important. And honestly, when I took the Strength Finder, every single thing that was at the top, I was like, man, I hate this about myself though. And I was like, well, no wonder I'm not happy. I'm not looking at my strengths as a strength. I'm looking at my strengths as like things that are bad about me. Like I'm a control freak. And it's like, no, you just have to tweak it and make it your strength and make it what you're good at.
Mm-hmm. Very, very true. Mm-hmm. Does anyone have any questions or comments or anything they want to say or ask or anything?
It's good to see you all. I feel like I've been gone. I missed everybody.
Yeah, so good to see you guys. Great turnout tonight. I'm proud of you all first of all, thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day to come join us. Like, I know this is a whole 40 minutes out of, your life, your family's life, but it shows commitment to your business, and it shows commitment to the team. And I'm really thankful for all of you guys showing that commitment and just showing up for your business. All right. If you guys don't have any comments or questions, then I guess you guys can go. Have a good night. Bye.
Good night.